So today, you guys, we're going to be going over my monster dividend slash capital growth portfolio, the monster portfolio that I've only been building for about 4.5 months. I started investing on May 29th of 2024. Yeah, not too long ago, guys. It's been a very short amount of time, and we've been able to rack up a nice, tasty amount here, and we have a nice amount of stock picks right here, which we're going to break down right now. So right here, if we check it out, let's see how much gains I'm up for the week. I'm up about $79, almost 1 whole % on my portfolio, which is great. We love to see performances like that. Boom, just went to $79 even. We love to see that. And let's check out how we've been doing for the month. Let's check this out. For the month of, I guess, mostly September and now from the gains of October, we are up $267, 3.3%. That is beautiful. We love to see that. But it's not all sunshines and rainbows because let's go to the 3 month trajectory. I'm up only $189, which isn't too bad, but let's go to the year to date. So year to date, I've only made $295 from my portfolio, which isn't too bad for the 3.5 months that I've been investing for. It's free money. I didn't have to lift a finger for this. And plus, this return right here, this doesn't even like count for like dividends and all. If counting dividends and total returns, I probably made about close to $350 to $400 in the market. So that's like about $100 a month so far, just starting out. Granted, I had a nice little fund to start off with. It's still great gains to see, and we love to see that. But anyways, the first stock that we're going to jump into in my portfolio is VU. We all know VU is going to come up eventually, and I know it's a boring ass stock to talk about, and I know if you probably hear it everywhere on the internet, but it is genuinely gold. Like, let's go down right here. I have about $1,100 invested right here. My total return was $7.50, and my total return has been $36.09. I actually owned about 4 shares. I had $1,700 worth of VU at one point, which I had to sell out for personal reasons. I had to work on my car a little bit. You know, it happens. You got to do what you got to do. But I'm slowly trying to build it up to that $1,700 in value. And I really hope VU is one of those stocks that we see a stock split in. Because, you know, like we've seen in SCHG and SCHD, they recently had 3-to-1, 4-to-1 stock splits. And I really would like to see that on Vanguard because it's starting to get really expensive. And I like to dollar cost average no matter what, but I just feel like, you know, it might not be so worth it in the next coming months if it just keeps on going up and up and up. I really feel like a split would really benefit everyone. And sadly, it's only about 14% of my portfolio diversity. I would like to make it more. I'm slowly going to trim off some of the other positions that I'm about to show you guys right now to continue to build up this market value. But I'm in no rush to do it. It's giving me good gains in the little month and a half month that I've been invested in it again, and I'm really happy with what Vu has been showing me, and I'm going to continue to dollar cost average and trust the process with this ETF. Another ETF that I'm really excited to bring up in this video is the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF, aka SCHD 3-to-1 stock split, which I love to see because before, I think the price was starting to hit about $85 a share, but right before they did the split, which was last night. And my average share price, which it would show right here, was about $81 and something cents per share. And now it's literally like, you know, 1/4 of that. It's $28.53 per share, which is great because realistically, if I wanted to, I can just put $20 into the market a day and put it into SCHD and continue to buy like 25 cents per share of dividend income a year, which I think it is. Let's scroll down here. The 3-to-1 split. Where is it at? I can't seem to find it on here, but I'll make sure to try to bring it up in the next video. But yeah, guys, this 3-to-1 split would really benefit you, especially if you're just barely starting off in investing and don't have much money to put in. And like, I know it could be a little discouraging not seeing many shares because for a guy like me, I can't complain. I had about 31 shares before the split. Now I have 93, okay? It is very encouraging to look at. And not to mention, I have $2,600.50 invested, you know? It doesn't show my total return now because it's still trying to work out the split, but it eventually in the next video I'll show you guys. I'll keep you guys updated, and it's about 32% of my portfolio diversity. And you know, I was not expecting to hit 100 shares of SCHD this way. I kind of feel like a cheater, like it just feels a little inflated now, but eventually I guess we'll shoot for 500. That's the new goal. But it's a great ETF, and I suggest you guys invest into it because the companies they invest into are superb as hell, and I think it'd really benefit your portfolio, and you'd also see some great dividend gains throughout the years. The Tech King SCHG, not SCHD. I know they sound the same. It could be a tongue twister, but no, the Charles Schwab US Large Cap Growth ETF. I love this ETF because let me show you guys something. Let's scroll down here. 50% technology, almost 51%. It was recently like 49 point something percent, but now it's up to 50 exactly, which I love to see. And let's go down and look at the holdings. I know you guys recognize all these companies, at least half of them. They're companies that are never going anywhere, companies that are going to stay solid forever. And I personally like it because I'm not heavily invested into individual tech stocks, but I really don't need to when they invest 12% into Apple, 11% into Nvidia, 10% into Microsoft, 6% into Amazon. It's just great to know that like my investments are safe in this ETF because I don't have to lift a finger and manage this portfolio for this ETF to be exact. I just have to let the hedge funds do their thing and kind of just sit back and reap the gains of all this. Back when the shares were about like 95 through $105, I think I bought in at about like 96, $95 a share, and I had about 10, 11 shares. And again, I had to sell it to work on my car. Big car problem. Maybe I'll talk about it in the next video if you guys are interested. But so far, my market value is only $436.92, unfortunately. Today's returns, not jack shiz, sitting at $1.50 pretty much. And now, it's not as discouraging to look at because I have 16 and a half shares right now, and that's pretty good to see. Portfolio diversity sitting at 5%, which I would like to see higher by the end of this year or the beginning of 2025. I really want the VU, SCHG, and SCHD to be the three main pillars and just the main the support group of my portfolio because like they're just guys, I cannot express enough that how heavily invested you need to be into tech, just overall Fortune 500 companies, and the dividend income you need from strong dividend companies. Because all those together in your portfolio, continue to dollar cost average, and most importantly, trust the process, you will reap the gains. I promise you. The stock that I would like to show you guys in my portfolio is Visa. Let's go down and look at the logistics of my Visa holdings. So I have about $1,100 invested into my position in Visa, and my today's return was $3.30, and my total return so far has been $25.68. Amount of shares I have just hit about 2, which I'm very proud of. I'm aiming to have about like 8 to 10 by the end of the year, hopefully. And my portfolio diversity is sitting at 13.5%. You see, I don't really mind having it at 13.5%. I think that's actually a fair stake to hold in my portfolio. Don't want to have too much, especially since the stock price has been fluctuating a lot. Like, let's go to the past month. Yeah, the past month it's down $3.58, and I think that's a pretty good dip to buy in at, but I wouldn't want to buy in unless it hit about $255 to $260 a share. So I'm going to continue to dollar cost average into it very slowly, but I'm going to continue to put money into it. I just can't put it in at a higher rate that I would like to just because it is getting more expensive. But if we come down here and look at my average cost per share, it's sitting at $271.89, which isn't bad since now the stock is sitting at $200.78. Yeah, some tongue twister, $278. And I'm pretty happy on the return on investment. This is most definitely a long-term position. I'm not really like looking at the total return right now. That's not something that I'm going to be too worried about until like for a few more months or the next year. You could say that's like lazy or clumsy investing, but I kind of just like to chill on my investments because Visa's a reliable company. They're nice as hell and they're not going anywhere, and I feel very comfortable putting my money into them. And you should too, but also do your research. And I'm not giving any financial advice. Always do your own research so you know what's best for you and your portfolio goals. Come, aka ticker symbol O. Now, let's go jump into the logistics of my holdings for this company. I have about $1,100, almost $1,200 invested. My total return is sitting at $69. Nice. And about, yeah, $69.50. Portfolio diversity is 14.36%, almost 15%, which I'm okay with. Like, I don't really mind like having a high position in this company. It's kind of just there to really trim profits from personally for me. And I just like those monthly dividend payments. Right now I'm sitting at about $5 to $6 in dividend payments a month from this portfolio. I would slowly like to, grow it, but we're sitting at a $58 average cost per share, and every share right now is $61.75. Now, Realty Income isn't the only stock that you can invest in for, REITs or anything like that. You can invest in VICI Properties or WP Carry. It just really depends on the research that you do and the goals that you have. But this is personally what works for me. Stock that I recently picked up and I wanted to surprise you guys with was Amazon. I had seen that it dipped to 180, 181 per share, and I went ahead and picked it up. This morning this said 181 per share, but now I guess I picked it up at 184 per share. But I wanted to buy at the dip at least a little bit. As you can see, I have 0.6 shares, halfway to 1 share. But this company, it's a monopoly, guys. Let's be honest, and we want to be involved in this Amazon monopoly. They own everything. They lobby governments, and they have a delivery truck on every block at every hour. It would be a little stupid not to invest in a company like Amazon. I barely started investing in them yesterday, and with the $120 that I've invested, I've already had a $3 return. Which isn't like, oh my God, Lamborghinis, monies, cocaine, hookers type of energy. But it'll slowly get to what we want. It's the portfolio diversity so far is sitting at 1.5%, which will slowly build. I'd like to see that at about 5 to 6%, maybe even 8 by the end of the year. Nothing too crazy. We just gotta hope Mr. Bezos can get us out of the trenches and help us on this investment. Later, in the next video, I'll do a deeper dive on Amazon and why I do personally invest into them, because I want you guys to see the dividend CAGR and all that stuff and just the real deeper logistics. But in this video, I'm just showing you guys the portfolio that I have and why I invest in them. But if you do want to see a video like that, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. And then last but not least, we have Chevron. I wasn't thinking about showing you guys this stock in my portfolio because personally, it's big oil. Like, I don't really like the concept of it, especially being a big California guy myself. We love nature, we love all this extra stuff when it comes to not killing our planet, and I love. If you can't beat them, join them. That's why I invest in Chevron. I'm sitting at about a $56 total return. This recently went up since the interest cut rates that Jerome Powell has announced, the 0.5%, and which has done me well because I have a nice little return on it. And you would think it isn't worth it for the dollar amount that I have invested, but what you guys got to understand is that they're heavily invested into renewable energy, and that's a big key for the future, and that's why I'm invested into them. As you can see, guys, a lot of my portfolio holdings are like future holdings. Like, I'm like holding them for dividend growth and capital growth. I don't like aiming straight for dividends or just straight for capital growth. I like to have a nice little mix between the two. But yeah, Chevron would pretty much just wrap up the stock picks that I would show you guys in this video. It's sitting at $151 per share, and I would like to see it hit on about 160 to 162 by the end of the year. A lot of people are going to be traveling this time around. Airplanes are going to need a lot of fuel. Let's just hope that the money keeps on flowing and we keep on getting decent returns. And I can't wait for that dividend payment to hit later in December. But anyways, that's probably going to wrap up today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little deeper dive into my portfolio and why I invest into them, my total returns, my dividend returns, and just the overall logistics of my holdings. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.